All right, guys. Salute to everybody that contributes to this channel. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that PayPal, hit that Cash App, hit that Super Chat, hit the like button, share these videos, subscribe. Another day. New York City Council candidate blames intergenerational trauma for daylight execution. Now we're gonna get to that San Diego mass shooting in a few minutes, but we gotta cover some other things first, man. Intergenerational trauma. This is the New York City Council, man. Intergenerational trauma for a woman executing her girlfriend, her ex-girlfriend, in broad daylight. And what does intergenerational trauma code word for? Anybody? I'll give you a few seconds. Intergenerational trauma is code word for as white people fault. Either slavery, systemic, institutional, Jim Crow had led this woman to kill her ex-girlfriend in a fit of jealous rage.
Just found out, sadly, a 52-year-old woman who was shot in the head near a deli in Park Slope has died. Right now, police are still trying to find the person who shot her. News 4's Miles Miller joining us live now from Park Slope. Miles.
That's right, that woman was leaving this bodega right behind me. She was walking right on that sidewalk there with a bag of grapes, and she was shot at point-blank range by a suspect who took off. Let's go ahead and show you the video from the scene right after this incident happened. Police tell us it was around 12:59 this afternoon when that woman was leaving the bodega here at St. Mark's Place and 4th Avenue when she was shot once in the head. She dropped to the ground, and then EMS came and rushed her to Methodist Hospital, where doctors pronounced her dead. This is the first shooting in Park Slope, Brooklyn this year, and it's something that has everyone in this neighborhood on edge, including people who saw the response after the shooting.
Okay, so Park Slope, Brooklyn. This just shows you how big Brooklyn is. This is a neighborhood in Brooklyn. One of the many, many neighborhoods like Bedford, Stuyvesant, Brownsville, Bushwick, Coney Island. It's a ton of neighborhoods in Brooklyn. I think it's maybe 100 different neighborhoods in Brooklyn. This is just one. Park Slope. Population 67,645. Almost 70,000 people live in this goddamn neighborhood. This is the size of many cities that you guys live in. Wow. Not the size size-wise, but population-wise. This place is not as big as the city, but its population is as big as the city. So I wanted to look. When they said that was the first shooting in Park Slope, I was like, wait a second, Brooklyn is on fire. I mean, the shootings in New York are through the roof. Brooklyn is ground zero. The mayor don't have a clue what to do. The city council don't have a clue what to do. The borough chief don't have a clue. The parents don't have. Everybody's throwing their hands up and just resigned to the fact that it's going to be people getting killed every day, all day in Brooklyn. Black people. But I was like, damn, the Park Slope, no, first shooting of the year. So I had to look at the demographics and was like, oh, okay. Oh, as I'm about to say, because when I think of Brooklyn, I think of East New York. I think of the places where my families lived when I went to go visit them when they lived in Brooklyn. And the energy you get when you just in there, and the feel and the way it look and the looks on people's faces and the vibes. And this Park Slope place is a little bit different. A little bit different demographic than the rest of Brooklyn.
This is the first shooting in Park Slope, Brooklyn this year, and it's something that has everyone in this neighborhood on edge, including people who saw the response after the shooting.
She had a fatal wound, someone said, to the head, and as they were loading her, one of the paramedics was doing chest compressions while they were loading her into the ambulance. The ambulance didn't go right away, so they must have been trying to revive her in the ambulance, and then they left. I didn't see when they left, but they didn't go right away, so she must have been in real bad shape inside the ambulance.
And what was it like? And you'll notice the crime scene unit has just arrived here at the scene. They're going to go through all of the evidence in this case and check and see if there are any shell casings left behind at this scene where that shooting happened. As for the suspect, we're told she's a woman who was wearing all black, had dreadlocks. She's being sought by detectives in the 7-8 precinct tonight. We're live in Park Slope, Brooklyn. I'm Miles Miller, News 4. Back to you.
Okay, back to our brother, man. City councilman. New York City Council candidate. Okay, he's a candidate. He gonna win. He gonna win. New York City Council candidate blames intergenerational trauma for daylight execution. The woman who admitted to gunning down her ex-girlfriend execution style in Park Slope this week should be treated as a victim of intergenerational trauma who deserves compassion. A candidate for New York City Council has suggested. Brandon West. Say hello to your new city council. Say hello to your new city council member, New York. Park Slope. Goodness gracious. God, dog. Oh, and he's endorsed by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's a shock. Didn't see that coming. In the Democratic Socialist of America movement. He railed about Wednesday's broad daylight shooting that left Nichelle Thomas, 51, dead. But he blamed the cold-blooded killing not on the brazen shooter, but on a system that failed the suspect, Letitia Bell. Hit that like button, hit that PayPal, hit that Cash App, hit that Super Chat. We gonna have to talk about this, y'all. And make sure you hit the notification button on all my channels. Subscribe to all 4 channels. Links in the description box. I'm doing a live stream. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got to do a wrap up this weekend, man. I gotta talk to y'all one-on-one. Living room gangster. We gonna go live, man. I want to hear what y'all got to say about what's going on in this country, man. We losing this country. God. But he blamed the cold-blooded killing not on the brazen shooter, but on a system that failed suspect Letitia Bell, who admitted to the slaying after surrendering to police. People grow up in hostile and toxic environments. experience abuse and poverty, and receive minimal help or education from professionals in the government. Well, goddamn, so every immigrant from Africa, Haiti, Jamaica, Mexico, Ireland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, Thailand, Vietnam, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Ghana, all those immigrants who have far worse, like their data, they don't even know how bad they got it until they get here. All those immigrants should be over here slaughtering, killing everybody. Because we talk about a woman who probably grew up in New York City, flat screens and every guy running water. This woman has never touched a light switch and had a moment of trepidation when she flicked that light switch. She never turned a faucet knob and felt like that wasn't no water gonna come out. She's been wearing $100, $200 pair of tennis shoes, designer, Louis Vuitton all her life, even if she live in the projects of the ghetto. Never went a day without a meal. May have missed a meal here and there, but ain't never missed a day without a meal. What is he talking about, man? Being poor in America is being rich in the third world. Being poor in America is you can't have the same stuff as other people got, but you got everything you need. You just can't have your wants. People grow up in a hostile and toxic environments, experience abuse and poverty, and receive minimal help or education from professionals and the government. And they got 1 million programs in Brooklyn, in every city, just like DC, 1 million programs. They got a program for every kid. If every kid wanted his own program, they got enough programs. Programs in these inner cities. What he's saying is criminal. That's all they got in these inner cities is programs. I grew up in programs. Young Lions, Male Youth Project. I was in so many programs, I forgot something. It was one program I went to after school, and they tutored us, and one other program I went to after school, and another program on weekends. The food bank, food stamps, government cheese. Man, I've been through so much just in my lifetime, man. Just me, and we wasn't even poor. Poor for a second, maybe a year or two we was poor. But the rest of the time we been alright. We was American poor too. Nigga had everything. I just didn't have the stuff I wanted. Had everything I needed. This whole thing, blaming all this shit on intergenerational poverty. Look, the woman killed the woman because her ex-girlfriend. It ain't even like a controversial case. Like, she just ran up and killed some random person. Then, all right, maybe you could say, all right, it's the white people's fault for making us slaves and now we poor because of slavery and all that shit. She killed her ex-girlfriend. What did that got to do with intergenerational? So he goes on to say, this can lead to them having undiagnosed, unsupported mental and material issues that end up perpetuating violence. So this Letitia Bell, man. Look at them eyes, man. Them wily eyes, man. She killed her cougar. Her girlfriend, her ex-girl, was 51. So the city councilman, Brandon West, continued. Acknowledging mental health issues earlier and not boosting police presence was the right way to combat person-to-person violence. He wants less police. And the people of Park Slope are going to elect this guy. Because he's woke. You have to. Like, he's the part of the AOC machine. He part of that AOC machine, man. We don't need more police. We need less police. And we need to address this woman's mental health issues. I've known people with mental health issues, man. Addressing them is just like, okay, you've addressed the issue now. What is that going to do? The person got to take their meds. They got to go to the therapy or whatever they going to do. And then you still might kill somebody, because sane people without mental illness, the majority of the murders is people without mental illnesses. The majority of the killers in the hood is little Negroes that ain't got no mental illnesses. They ain't gangs, they represent hoods, they ain't cliques and crews, and they beefing back and forth. And they shooting in broad daylight. Ain't nothing wrong with them dudes mentally. They act like every goddamn killing is somebody's mental illness. Every damn person that gets shot by a cop, it was a mental... Man, I'm tired of that shit. There are people with mental illnesses, but goddamn, most of us ain't mentally ill. Most of us is fine. He goes on to say, we can only progress if we recognize that even murderers and abusers are victims, as they're usually suffering at the hands of complex emotional and intergenerational trauma which compels them to commit awful acts. We should uplift compassion and understand above all else and she already done admitted to the pair dated for nearly 20 years, resulting in 14 domestic incident reports in which Bell was the aggressor in 10 of them. Just think about how many times they fought and the cops didn't get involved. Because you got to understand, man. Let me tell you something, man. When you live in the stand, 90% of the stuff go unreported. 90%. You ain't hear about it on the news or in the local paper. When you look on the paper, you hearing about 10%. And then as you know, you hearing about 10% of the 10%. Like, they ain't even, like, it's just crazy. Like, so for them to have 14 domestic incident reports, that was a volatile relationship. So this is the woman who was killed. So Letitia Bell, the killer, her sister claims that she's mentally disabled. Okay. But she killed her ex-girlfriend. She was mentally... you could be... Two things could be true. Like, a mentally disabled person could be driving and texting and running to the back of your car. Did they do that because they was mentally ill, or did they do that because they was texting? A mentally ill person, you can hog spit in the mentally ill person's face, right? Person mentally ill. You hog spit in their face. They flick off. Did they flick off because they mentally ill, or did they flick off because you hog spit in their face? This whole mentally ill, they put too much on that. Mentally ill people is walking around us all day. They working with us. They in the cubicle next to us. They in the apartment next to us. You standing next to them in the elevator. You on a bus sitting in the seat next to them. Everything they do ain't got nothing to do with mentally illness. This girl killed her damn girlfriend. Why she ain't kill her girlfriend none of the times before? If this time it was because of mental illness. So she said she snapped. The sister says that she snapped on her ex-girlfriend. She also said the couple was known for getting violent with one another. Yeah. Intergenerational trauma, also known as transgenerational or generational trauma, is trauma that passes from one generation to the next. It was first termed by researchers in 1966 as they studied the psychological distress endured by the children of Holocaust survivors. I ain't touching that one. Experiences like domestic violence, sexual assault, or sexual abuse and hate crimes can result in intergenerational trauma, the site noted. In November, our boy Brandon West, future councilman for Park Slope, Brandon West, chalk it up, was one of 6 city council candidates endorsed by the Democratic Socialist of America, whose platform includes efforts to defund the police, curb or eliminate broken windows, and community policing. They would eliminate community police. Decriminalizing sex work. And reduce the numbers of jails, prisons, and inmates. West is vying to replace Councilman Brad Lander, who is term limited in running for city comptroller. The post on Thursday revealed Lander's troubles with speeding in school zones and other areas of the city on Thursday. This brother might not look like it. He might look like he down for the people and he, nice brother. This is a dangerous Negro right here, man. This is a dangerous Negro. He trying to unleash the beast on the community. Park Slope, they're a very safe neighborhood. Just had their first shooting of the year. We in April. Late April. A year into, say he becomes the new city councilman over there in Park Slope. What's the shooting numbers gonna look like next year with his policies? I guarantee you, he turned Park Slope into a goddamn war zone. It's a very dangerous brother right here. Very dangerous brother, man. Extremely dangerous, man. Wicked. It's a wicked brother right here, man. I feel sorry for the people of Park Slope, man. They gonna have to move and find another place to live, man. Park Slope about to go down the drain, man. Woo!
We started.
Take the $5 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Peace. I'm out.